All right, Frankie Lock. Good morning.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Remember me?
Yes, I do. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 001604 State versus Frankie Lock. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Grant Crespo for the state, Your Honor.
Patrick Hancock for Mr. Lock.
And are you Mr. Lock?
Yes.
All right, you entered a plea of guilty on July 18th.
Yes.
According to your plea bargain, and you entered a plea of guilty to counts 1 and counts 3. According to your plea, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 8 years in the prison. There's a $4,000 fine. The state opposes your application, and there's to be Chapter 62 compliance. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
Judge, there's no objection to the PSI, but I think Mr. Lott, I know the court's familiar with his medical background. He's had a couple of seizures in the courtroom, so he gets nervous. He's asked me to communicate to the court that he would like to retract his statement to his PSI officer, where when asking about the instant offense, he made an excuse for his behavior. He accepts responsibility for his behavior. I know that because prior to the PSI, he and I have had that discussion. I think he gets nervous in settings and I think it's the answer he gave is a reaction towards self-preservation with his family and his friends, and he's just very ashamed of his behavior. So I think the best we can say today, Judge, is regretfully we don't want you to think he's making excuses, because that's certainly the way it reads. He's here today to take full responsibility. His sister and his wife were present to testify on his behalf. He's just struggled with shame and humiliation this has brought to his family.
All right, any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. The first witness I have is Cecilia Jenkins Lott, his wife.
All right.
Mr. Lott.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
My name is Cecilia Jenkins Lott.
All right. And if you may proceed.
Yeah, proceed. Ms. Lott, good morning. Thank you for coming down. You understand we're here today for the sentencing of Frankie Lock. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Would you explain your relationship to the judge of Frankie Lock?
I'm his wife. We've been married for 4 years.
And can you tell the judge how long you've known Mr. Lock prior to being married? How long you dated him?
We dated for 10 years prior to our marriage.
Did you grow up here in Bexar County?
No, I'm originally from Detroit. I've lived in San Antonio since 1984.
And can you tell the judge what your work background is, Cecilia?
I've been in the legal system working with attorneys since I was at age 18. I worked in litigation for over 30 years, and I've been in real estate for over 10 years.
And you're currently working in a law firm, is that correct?
Yes, I work at a real estate law firm.
Ms. Lott, can you give the judge some background?
Up until January of 2024, correct?
Yes.
And in January of 2024 is right when he committed this criminal offense.
Right, and that's why we lost. Yeah.
And I know I'm grateful for it. And you say, you control his phone and you control everything he does, but can you tell me in this report what he's done himself to take accountability for his actions? Because I appreciate it, but he is a grown adult as well, right? So he should be able to control his urges and his actions. So what have you seen him since leading to this case do in that regard?
What do you mean, like
Just make sure she can hear you.
outside of the home?
Or just
Well, he's very apologetic. He can't do anything or go anywhere. So, I mean, he knows that, and he feels bad for what he did and how it's affecting the entire family.
Okay, no further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
May she be excused, Your Honor?
Yes. Thank you so much for coming to talk to me about it.
Dolores Lock Brown.
Hello. Hi. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Do you need to take a breath? Okay. Just let me know when you're ready to proceed, okay?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Dolores, if you would, ma'am, just take your time and speak into the microphone, state your full name for the record.
Dolores Brown.
It's a little louder.
Dolores Brown.
And can you tell us how you're related to Frankie Lock?
He's my brother.
And would you describe your relationship with Frankie?
Yes, we've always been close. Growing up, we've had fights. My mom always told us that to make sure we take care of one another because we're all we have. And I just love him so much. I have handled this situation that has occurred. It's very hard and difficult on a family, including my dad. We just lost my mother right before the incident happened. And that's why it's just difficult for me to stand this. My dad is deteriorating, and if anything, my brother does go to prison. He's I know it's not gonna make it. It takes too many medications. As far as me.
You're doing good. Let me just ask you a couple of questions. Just step back just a little bit. Okay, and just speak loud enough. Microphone here. You've certainly come to court every time we've been to court. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You understand exactly why we're in front of Judge Ford this morning.
Yes, sir.
She's got to make a determination whether to give Frankie prison time. There's a range in that we've limited, and there's certainly an application for supervision. And where that is, I'd like to ask you if you could just, you've known obviously your brother and sister, but could you tell the judge some of the good qualities of Frankie that would make him a good candidate for probation?
Well, he's always protecting me, honest. And he was with you. A lot of times he was better to me than my siblings. And all I can tell you, Your Honor, he regrets everything that he's done. Put shame on the family. Bringing shame to my dad, especially after just losing my mother.
Let me ask you, if he's granted probation, does he have the continued support of your family?
Yeah, absolutely, Your Honor.
You in Frankie's life every day?
And ever since this incident has been, you know, and with his medical condition, I've been checking on him more, been making more contact, just trying to ease his mind, to let him know that, you know, we all make mistakes and, you know, that we all make mistakes and you have to own up to your responsibility and you don't show the remorse for what he's done and the shame that he brought on his wife, you know.
And if he is granted probation, will you remain in his life in a supportive capacity?
Your Honor, if you were to,
Go ahead.
if you were to grant him probation, I stand here as a woman and I can't guarantee that nothing like this will happen again. And if you can attach me to any type of documentation, because I'm not gonna pressure the court, And I can guarantee that this will never happen again or anything else going forward. You know, and
Go ahead.
I'm seeing you, and I'm scared of you myself, you know, and what you can do.
All right, so this is what I want you to know, and all of the witnesses to testify. Because people always are concerned, did I say the right thing? Did I say too much? Did I not say enough? But I want to let you know that you're giving me insight into your brother. I want you to know that there's nothing that any witnesses that have come before me that have said anything that has hurt him. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No question.
All right. Thank you.
Judge, lastly, Mr. Lott has a brother, Eddie McAfee, who I've shared, he submitted a letter. I shared it with the state. I'd like to share it with the court right now.
Okay.
In support of his application for probation.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Judge, if I could just speak to the PSI and on the
Sure.
on the plea bargain, if I may, if it's time.
Yes. Well, state, are you still, you've heard testimony. Does your plea bargain still remain the same?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Yes, I'll hear you.
Judge, I think we've been to court numerous times, and I think the court can remember some of the health struggles that Mr. Lott has had, and I think the probation office did a good job of documenting his medical history from.
And just here's my question with regards to the medical history. Is this something that's brand new, or were these medical issues, or part of these medical issues, a part of when this incident occurred?
I think his MS symptoms started in COVID, although he was able to work through it, but I think his work was limited. Certainly his arthritis and back issues have outdate the origin of this case.
So he's had these conditions prior to the commission of this offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you may proceed.
And so, Judge, I think the court's aware of it. Obviously, we put a date on it now. I can't tell you how long before the commission of the offense, but certainly the toll that it's taken on him has been significant. But you know, he stands here today, Judge, as a 57-year-old man. I think there was one hiccup that I was reminded of reading in the PSI today, some selling alcohol to a minor when he worked in a restaurant, I guess, back in 2002. I hope the court won't hold that against him. I think other than that, he's lived his life being a good man, making good decisions, and certainly being a productive member of our community. And then he makes this mistake, Judge. It's a whopper. We get that.
All right, so here's my question. And counsel, maybe you can address this. Maybe you want your client to address this. So there's an online solicitation of a minor, and I am completely, I'm going to disregard the fact you want me to disregard, where he says that basically he was tricked. And I understand with online, I represented people before. I understand with online solicitation of a minor, you are sort of tricked in the fact that you think you're talking to a minor and you're not talking to a minor. So I understand the trickery in that portion, but this is what I want to address. So he's having this conversation with someone he believes to be a minor, and then he agrees to meet up with the minor. And he has all these medical conditions. No, that's what it says in the stipulation, that you actually agreed to meet up with the minor, and they arrested you, I believe, at the meet.
They arrested him on the scene where the undercover cop and Mr. Lott agreed to meet.
So he has medical issues. He has the MS, as you're saying, arthritis, all of these chronic issues, but he is holding a conversation with someone he thinks is a minor, and then he goes to meet up with a minor with all these conditions.
Well, Judge, if you're asking us to make an excuse to him, he's pled
No, I mean, I'm just,
guilty to it.
no, I understand he's pled guilty, but I'm trying to figure out the status of his medical issues.
Well, Judge, I don't know whether he was, you're asking if you felt okay to meet up that day or what the situation is. I can tell you that he's not feigning his medical issues.
Oh, no, I believe his medical issues are real, based upon the PSI and based upon issues that he's had when he's in the courtroom.
Very good.
I'm just trying to look at him globally so that I can make an appropriate decision on punishment in this case.
Well, I don't know exactly what the court's looking for. I certainly think he had medical issues that day, at that time during his life. Now, whether he felt okay to get into a car and go to a meeting, sounds like he did. So, but I can tell you that was how long ago? A year and a half ago, or some months ago. So I can tell you from his family and talking to him, his medical condition has deteriorated. So, and I think that's obvious to everybody. So hope that answers your question.
Yes, and that's what I want to,
Yeah.
for you to elaborate on that part.
Yeah. So, it has, Judge, I think you've seen it. I think these ladies, to the best of their ability, have articulated that. As his wife said, he's homebound.
Mhm.
He has nowhere to go. She's in charge of his phone. He's not going anywhere. He's lost his insurance, so he's at the mercy of the state. I think that if he were not taking this serious, then he would have violated the conditions of his bond, and it would have been a nuisance to the court a long time ago. So this mistake happens. He's was afraid of losing his family. He's been able to maintain a relationship with his family, except time doesn't do anything with him except make his health worse. So I think medically, Judge, he's a good candidate for probation. I think, quite frankly, if he would go into the system, he's a burden to the system. That's not making an excuse for his behavior. But if the court wants to look at this situation globally, he's got a support group. He's going to have to register as a sex offender. His health is deteriorating. It's not going to get better. He has his wife lives at home with him. His sister's in his life every day. Brother from this letter has asked the court to not lose sight of one bad decision in a man's life, but perhaps to punish him for his goodness as well, because he's not a man with a criminal history, no drug or alcohol problem. I think it was a mistake that the court has seen a lot of men make. He made it, and as his family and the very strong women in his life have stated, they don't expect that he'll make another mistake. They just want the opportunity to care for him in these years of need and take care of him. And that's all we can offer the court.
All right, state.
The state, just looking at the PSI, Your Honor, our concern is, I know that they've retracted today what was on the PSI, but our concern is the same as what he told the cops to what he said here, is that his goal was to go find this child and tell her she shouldn't be doing this, and that, trying to find who her parents were so that he could tell them. And the state's concern is that he wasn't taking accountability then. He wasn't taking accountability when he did the PSI, only today when he's coming forward to the court, Your Honor. And that the excuses for the types of conversations that he was having with what he believed to be a 14-year-old girl on the internet, and then proceeding to meet up with that individual that he believed was a 14-year-old minor. That's just the state's concern, Your Honor. He had these health conditions. While they may have deteriorated, he had them. He drove a car. He went to meet this individual, Your Honor. And that's pretty much all the state has, Your Honor.
All right. All right, this is what the court is going to do. And the court has taken in consideration your lack of history. The court has taken in consideration your medical conditions. The court doesn't believe a sentence should be a death sentence unless it's called for the death penalty. And I say that if somebody is receiving the death penalty, all the other sentences, they're not supposed to be a death sentence. So I'm taking all of that in consideration. I'm taking your health in consideration. The court is going to find you guilty of counts 2 and counts 3. Counts 2 and counts 3 will run concurrently. There should be Chapter 62 registration, and the court will sentence you to 2 years in each cause number. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
All right, because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Good luck to you. You're welcome.